Hey guys, I'm Crys'Dawna and I'm coming to you from bellarenovare. And so I did a live video and I started doing the rainbow blending technique. And so I'm going to finish it, and I'm actually going to do it again on the other side just so for you guys that missed it or if you want to rewatch it. I know the live, we didn't have a lot of really good reception and things like that. So I'm going to go over it again, and it'll be also in the blog post. So if you would like to subscribe on YouTube and then hit that little bell button, you'll see all the latest new techniques. I really like to share with you guys. It's just kind of my thing. I like to share and inspire you guys and push you to the next level, and I just want color in the world. You know, I like things that are beautiful and neutral, and then I also think that there's a place for color. So if you subscribe to this channel, and then like I said, hit the little bell button next to it, and then you'll see all the latest stuff. I also am on Twitter, I'm also on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on Facebook, and I will also put the links in that in the section. So, and you guys always give me a comment and share this video, and you know, share it with your friends, or you know, save it to your stuff, or share it to your page, or whatever. So I just love sharing, and I'm just glad that you guys have taken the time out of your day to hang out with me. So again, my name is Crys'Dawna and my business is bellarenovare. What I'm going to do today is do a rainbow blending technique. So if you see right here, I had a live and I did that, but I'm going to do it again on this side so that you guys can see it and you can watch this over and over and over again. I will be using Dixie Belle's chalk mineral paint, okay? That stuff is like top notch, okay? It is easy to blend with, it loves water. You can have just regular finishes, you can have blending finishes, you can have ombre. I mean, the possibilities are endless with Dixie Belle, and they have an amazing palette of colors. So, you know, and then you can blend the colors to get different colors, and it's just an awesome, awesome product. So I'm gonna let you guys know what you need first and foremost, okay? So I'm gonna use the following colors. I'm going to be using, and I'm a really messy painter, so do not judge, whatever. But, so I'm gonna be using Dixie Belle's Peony, which is one of their brighter pink colors. And then I'm also going to be using Dixie Belle's Daisy, which is one of their brighter yellows. Pure Ocean, which is just a beautiful teal color. Let's see, Flamingo, which is a really pretty coral. And it's funny sometimes, well, hold on a second. Amethyst, which is their purple. And then Lucky Lavender, and that's kind of what I'm going to use in the center. So these are the colors that I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use Haint Blue, okay? Haint Blue. It's a lighter baby blue color. The really good thing about sometimes these colors is we think, I would never I would, but like, you know, some people are like, well, I would never paint a piece in Flamingo. But if you do it like this, then you don't think about it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I guess I could use Flamingo or Peony or whatever. So that's why I like to teach you guys different techniques. You can use any color you want on this, okay? This is just the color I used on it. I've done this technique so many times, and I've used a bunch of different colors. So really, it's just a matter of finding what kind of drives, like what do you want? What do you want in your thing? Are you painting it for a client? Are you painting it for something that you want to sell? Are you painting it for yourself? You know, a kid or whatever. What colors do you want to come out in it? So this palette is a little bit more of like a purple pink type palette. We've got the blue and we've got the yellow in it, but it's more of like if you see, they've got the pink and the purples, and then, you know, the pinks. You can see some of the Pure Ocean right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I do this, okay? So depending on how many colors you have, you're going to need a chip brush, just a simple chip brush for each color. You don't want to use the same brush for all the colors, because then they're going to start blending before you're ready for it. So a different chip brush for each color, okay? And it doesn't matter what size, because you're just going to be putting it on in random areas, all right? So you need that. You also need whatever your go-to brush is. This is going to be for the Haint Blue. So I like to use the Haint blue to kind of blend everything and soften it up, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So whatever your choice of paintbrush is, this is a Paint Pixie synthetic brush. Dixie Belle has a lot of really good brushes. They actually just came out with a new synthetic line, and then Paint Pixie has their synthetic and natural bristles. You've got Klingon brushes. I mean, there's a lot of options out there, and everybody has their own thing that they like to do. I also like to have a rag because when this gets too wet, I like to dry it. So you'll see me do that. And I also have a mister bottle. Okay, I got this from Hobby Lobby. They've got them on Amazon, things like that. I'll make sure that I put a link in to the mister bottle also, but they're pretty easy to find, and they've become pretty well a staple for a lot of painters because, you know, you've got the regular spray bottle, but the mister bottle is perfect because when you have a regular spray bottle, it kind of sometimes will spray your paint off. So with the mister bottle, it just gives you the right amount of water that you need, which is, like I said, Dixie Belle loves water. So I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna show you, and I'm gonna walk you through what I'm doing. So I'm gonna move this a little bit that way so that you can see it. Hopefully I'm not in your way. And if you guys comment, you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer your questions. So the first one I'm going to use, there is no rhyme or reason to this. The first one I'm going to use is Peony. Okay. I just kind of am like, where do I want the Peony at? So I'm going to go right here and do some Peony. Okay. And I don't take my drawers out for this technique. I just don't. It's easier for me to leave them in. Then I can actually see everything, because it would be a little bit ridiculous if I took the drawers out and did it right here. You know what I mean? And then I put the drawers back in. Trying to marry those and match those up is just, so I keep my drawers in, and then I'll pull them out and do like the painting around the rest of it and whatever. So there's no harm in keeping the drawers in. You don't have to take your drawers out every single time you paint something, depending on the technique you use. So we'll do some Peony. I kind of want to make this is probably going to go back in my daughter's room, so I want to make it kind of pink heavy because that's her favorite color, of course. I mean, she's a 6-year-old girl, why not? So I'm going to just put the chip brush in there, just in case I decide I want to use it again. And make sure you guys are shaking it or stirring your paint or whatever. So next we're going to do Amethyst. And you guys, the thing about Dixie Belle paint is a little bit goes a long way. So a lot of times when I get it on my lid, I just use my lid. Because why waste it? You know what I mean? And you don't have to go, you can go any which way. You can go horizontal, you can go vertical. It doesn't matter, okay? Go like this, blend it in a little bit. I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, you can put whatever colors you want next to each other, but I kind of try to think about which colors do I want to blend next to each other, you know, because like Amethyst and Peony look really good together. If you see how I'm just showing you guys how it looks good together. You're not gonna, you know, but it's just really pretty. And actually, if you can see the coloring, I just put Amethyst over Peony and it turned it into like a different shade of purple. So there you go again. That's kind of like that actually is a really pretty shade of purple that maybe I should use. So I'm going to set my brush in there. I'm going to do some Daisy. Just mix it up. Put some over here, maybe right down here at the bottom. I want to keep Daisy closer to the Peony just because we're going for a rainbow look. So if you got the Peony and the Daisy together, that will kind of marry a orange color in. So let's put some Daisy right down here. And this is kind of like an imperfect, perfect technique. It doesn't have to be perfect. You cannot be OCD with these kind of finishes. You just can't. You have to accept the fact that it is what it is. It's art. It's not always going to be. A lot of times when you're painting pieces like a solid color, you want it to be absolutely perfect, and that's great because that's a different technique. But with these kind of rainbow blended finishes, sometimes it's just when it's imperfect, it's more beautiful. So, and right now it's looking crazy. Every time that I do this technique, I have people going, oh my God, what is she doing? I love to post my before pictures because you would never think that this could turn into that, right? So, okay, this is pure ocean. So I like to post my like pictures of it like this because then people are like, that girl is out of her mind. I do it a lot too with the pieces that I do with and I have a blog post and a video on it also with like the layered and like and the wet distress look. So if you want, you could, off the subject of doing this blend, if you wanted to have like a wet distress layered look with this and you wanted all these different colors underneath, then you would let this dry, you would seal it, you would paint it with something else, and then you would take a wet rag and wet distress it. And like I said, I have a video on that too, but sometimes it looks crazy before it's, you know, you gotta trust the process, guys. So I like to put a little bit lighter of a color in the center just to kind of make it like it's a highlight almost. So I'm gonna put Lucky Lavender right here in the center. I'm not really gonna put it anywhere else on the piece. You can, I'm just not going to because I've already got my amethyst. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just put it up here because I didn't put anything up there. I missed it. And that's a good thing. When you miss a spot, you can just put whatever color you want. So now that my piece looks like a hot mess, okay, and people are like, what's this girl doing? This looks absolutely horrible. You're going to take another chip brush, okay? I'm sorry, so you're gonna take another chip brush that's dry, all right? A dry chip brush. You're gonna want your rag also, and then you're gonna take your mister bottle, all right? And you're just gonna mist over it, okay? Don't douse it, don't saturate it, okay? We're not trying to take a bath here. We're just trying to blend. Take this and just kind of go over like this, okay? I know it seems crazy, and you're like, what is happening right now? Now, I'm gonna dry this a little bit. I'm gonna spray it again, all right? And then I'm gonna go down like this. Go across. Dry it a little bit more. Put some more water on there. Okay, I live in a dry climate, so I need to put a little bit more water. With some of you guys that are in like a humid climate, you may not need that much water. And that's okay that that's going down there. It doesn't matter. We're going to blend it eventually. And so right here, if we're looking, I want to be able to see my blue underneath there. So you can take your rag and just go like this. And what that's going to do is take some of that dark off. Okay. And the thing is sometimes we don't always pick the best colors that marry together. So you can take your blue, okay, put your blue right here, no big deal, spray it, and kind of blend it in there more. So if you want your blue, and now we've got some blue going on. And you want to lightly blend this, guys, okay? And I kind of like how that yellow is like, you can go up. And I like how that yellow is doing what it's doing. So I'm going to kind of leave that there so that we've got some purple, we've got some like reddish orange, we've got some yellow, we've got the blue, the purple, okay? So I want a little bit more pink in there. So I think what I'm going to do is put some peony. I'm going to put some peony right here on the corner, okay? Kind of go like this with your brush, brush it in a little bit if you want. You can either glop it on or brush it in a little bit. Okay. And now I'm going to take my dry brush. It's already wet enough, so I'm just going to take my dry brush and start it's kind of cool when you start doing this, because then you like you see how it, and I might leave that. But like I said, it's imperfect is perfect. So here we go. So I'm kind of blending it. And see how we've kind of gotten some of the purple. And I might want a little bit more yellow there. So I'm going to put a little bit of daisy right there. I'm going to work that up. I'm going to kind of like do a slight amount of daisy right here, okay? And then I'm going to take my chip brush, dry it up, and kind of flick it over. And you see how that kind of blends that yellow in there? So we've got our amethyst, lucky lavender, we've got some daisy, we've got the pure ocean with the lucky lavender right there, and then we've got, you know, there's right there is the flamingo, and then you've got peony, okay? And so then we're gonna do the bottom. And you can do like what I was doing. Sometimes when you just automatically blend it, you're like, oh yeah, that looks really awesome. I'm just gonna leave it. But if you don't like how it looks or you want different colors certain places, then you just do what I did and just take it, a little brush, and put a little bit more here. And actually, so I'll show you, like on the center. Let's put a little bit more pure ocean right here, okay? And you wanna lightly do it. You don't wanna be like globbing the paint on there. So take your dry brush, dry chip brush, and kind of just lightly do that, okay? And look, and then you can go down a little bit. And if you want to like smooth out the lines, you go down a little bit. And then there you go. There's some more right there. And sometimes these chip brushes shed, that's fine. Just go like that and then just go right back over it. That's the beauty of using this paint, especially when it's wet. And sometimes you can go back over. Like that's really cool. Look at that, how it just did that. And then let me darken that up a little bit. If you wait till it dries just slightly, you can sometimes push it down into there and see, you can move it around. This paint is really easy to move around and manipulate, that's for sure. Again, there's another little chip brush thing. Go down, grab it, and then just fix it up. Okay, so now we're gonna do the bottom. So hopefully we get, I don't know, we'll probably get a totally different result because there's totally different colors. We'll dry it. Remember, we don't want to saturate it. Just enough to mix them around. So here we go. We're going to go this way. And my yellow's definitely being dominant in this one. Dry that up. Go vertical. Probably go over it one more time. It has been like uncharacteristically hot here, just so you guys know. I'm sure that's like that all over, but it's been kind of crazy. It's September here in Wyoming, and normally we're like flirting on having like snow, and there hasn't been snow. It's like 90 degrees outside, which I love. I don't mind it. My husband's like, can I have fall? But see, like how this purple, I can kind of push that up into there, dry it. Push that peony and flamingo up into there. Push all these colors. That's the thing. This paint, you can push it around and manipulate it. It's pretty freaking awesome. All I'm doing is just brushing. Seeing what else I can do. So I'm drying this off. So there's a whole lot of yellow down here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to kind of look in different spots. And you could just keep wetting it and see what happens. But if you put too much water on there, you might get down to your original finish, and we don't want that. So, okay, so there's a lot of yellow in there. So I think I'm going to add maybe a little bit of peony right here. You know, just to add, like I said, I want a lot of pink because this is going to go in my daughter's room. So I'm going to do some peony right here. Maybe put it right there. Take my dry brush and just blend it. And make it go up, go down. And that's the cool thing about these colors is like now it's kind of, it's peony, but it's blending into like an orange almost. So you've got this going on right here. And then the pure ocean's not really sticking out like I want it to, and I don't really like how this looks. So I'm going to do some pure ocean. Let's do it like right here. Okay, I'm gonna do the pure ocean right here because I want it to flow a little bit better. I feel like it's not flowing very well with that. Okay. So here we are. My dry chip brush. You can even go up into the other one. Okay, this is all one piece, obviously. So don't, you can go up into that other part that we just did. So I feel like it's kind of flowing a little bit better. You can spray it just to kind of marry it together a little bit better, I guess. Marry it together. That's such a weird phrase. Okay, so I think it looks pretty good right now. All right, it's a little bit like in your face, where this one's a little bit more whimsical, I guess is the word for it. So I'm gonna show you how to use the Haint blue. So in the meantime, just put the lids on all your stuff. You probably will not need this, but like I work in sections, so I did that section. So I'm doing this section, I'm working this section. Well, I've got to paint the rest of the piece, so I need to go over to this section and that section. So like just put the lid on your things, on your paint, even with the brush in it, just so that it's not drying out. Dixie Belle is really great because you can add water to it if you feel like it's too thick or too dry, and it'll reactivate it, but still. Okay, so I'm just going to dry that off, set it aside. Here is the Haint blue, okay? So in general, you want to take probably like a lighter color, a Haint blue. Lucky Lavender would probably work if you didn't use it on anything else. You might be able to use it on this, but I just really like Haint blue. It's just a light blue, and it blends with these colors really well. So here is the Haint blue. Here's my other brush, okay? It's clean. I'm going to spray my brush. I work with a damp brush, always. I always work with a damp brush. It's just what I do, unless I'm dry brushing. Okay, so now I'm going to spray the piece, okay, because we want it to be dry, or wet, and then I'm going to just lightly go in here, okay? You don't want a lot, and I'm just going to go over this piece, all right? And it's kind of softening it up. If you guys can see, there's a little bit too much right there, so let's kind of push that off of there. But it's softening this piece up. Go all these different directions, okay? And wipe it off, and then damp it again, damp this side, put a little bit in, okay? You don't want a lot. If you feel like you got too much, put it on your brush, or put it on your rag, okay? And this is just light, like a light flick of the hand, guys. Don't be mashing on it, because you're wanting it to just kind of like soften the existing colors in there. You don't want to lose the colors, and you don't want the Haint blue to take over, but you want it to soften what you got going on. So you see, it's just kind of softening everything and kind of blending it to where it's just looks more, when you're doing this look, a lot of times you want it to be like a whimsical look. You want it to be like unicorny or whatever. And so now you can take the same brush, just dry it off, wet it, and if you feel like you need to, because here it's really dry, so I sometimes have to re-wet it. And you might feel like you've lost a little bit of your color, but it gives it more of a blended look. So we still have our daisy, we've still got the pure ocean, we've got the amethyst, we've got the flamingo, we've got the peony. I mean, we've still got all these colors here. It's just that if you look from here versus right here, it's just blended better. It's just softer. It's just prettier. Where here you're like, oh, there's pure ocean. Oh, there's this. So there's so it's not all blended together, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is kind of work our way down. We're going to wet the piece. Remember, your brushes need to stay damp. Just a little bit. Just a dab of do ya. Okay? And lightly, guys. This isn't something that you have to Go down. And for you guys that are not in a dry climate, you might not have to keep re-wetting this piece, and you may not even have to like put more Haint blue on there. I'm going to see how far I can make this go, because it's still pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and do a little bit. I'm probably going to need to put some more Haint blue on there because it's not really blending like right in that area like I want. So okay, put some more Haint blue. I said just dab a do ya. And if you don't want a lot on these sides, like I'll start in the center because I like it to be highlighted. And it adds like a kind of a cool highlight to the stuff. It just lightens everything. You can't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid to, if it messes up or it looks like what you don't want, then the beautiful thing about it is it's paint, okay? You can always change it. Make sure you're getting these little bristles out. That's what I do. I just kind of get close to it and go down. All right, so see it's blended much better, but we lost a little of our pure ocean. So what we can do is we can go back, we can put a little bit of our pure ocean right here, okay? And since you're already working with this brush right here, just take it, see? And so now our blue is kind of back in there. You know, you can do it again, repeat that step. So if the blue isn't showing as much as you want, then repeat that step. But so this is basically all you have to do. It just takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of finesse. It's probably not a beginner technique, but you could definitely get there with practice. So, I mean, even if you are a beginner, just practice and practice and practice. I mean, obviously, with anything in life, practice makes perfect. And so, you know, that side's got a little bit more pink, and then you can see the blue down there. So if you want to change it, but that's the thing about a unicorn, rainbow, mermaid technique, is that you just want the color all over it. You don't, this isn't going to match that. So we don't need to be OCD about it, okay? So if you guys have any questions, shoot a comment in the bottom, and hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, I will link all my social medias on there, and I would love if you followed me. And I'm always here for any questions that you guys have. And I was using Dixie Belle paint, and I went over the colors earlier, so just rewatch the video. And then what this is a rainbow blending technique, what I like to use. So thank you guys again. My name's Crys'Dawna from bellarenovare, and I'm so glad that you guys took the time out of your day to watch me. I really appreciate it. So see you later.